And welcome back into Nobby's Ballpark here at Case Western Reserve University for our second game of the day and fourth and final game of the series between Emory University and Case Western Reserve University. Emory 16-9, 5-1 in the UAA, have won the first three games of this series, including an 8-7 game earlier in a really close, well-played game. And then Case Western Reserve trying to turn around what is now a four-game losing streak. 10-11 on the year, 2-5 in UAA play, and trying to avoid getting swept today. Let's get you batting order real quick for Emory University as this game will get started shortly. Jacob Grossman, the second baseman, leading things off. He'll be followed by the center fielder, Ellis Schwartz. Matthew Sicoli playing right field and batting third, and then Henry Polinsky, who homered in the first game and had 5 RBIs in that one. He'll be the designated hitter and batting cleanup. Tyler McLaughlin playing first base and hitting fifth. Jack Halloran, the third baseman, bats sixth. Stephen Hunt, the left fielder, bats seventh. Zach Wasserloff, the shortstop, batting eighth. And then Josh Katz catching and batting ninth. Josh Zuckerman on the mound. We'll tell you more about him in the bottom of the inning when he takes the hill. In the meantime, defensively for the Spartans here in Game 4 of the series, they'll have over at first base Zach Carinci, second baseman Josiah Harris, shortstop is Owen Levinson, and the third baseman is Graham Price. In the outfield, Kevin McKenzie in left, center fielder is Logan Andraco, and right field is Nick Harms. The designated hitter today is Connor Stevenson. Doing the catching is Jack Anderson, and he'll be receiving for Matthew Dubois, the junior right-handed pitcher who is 0-1 on the year with a 5.62 ERA. Dubois making his fourth start of the year, 8 innings on the season, just 7 hits allowed, and opponents only hitting .250 against him. He gave up 6 runs, 5 of them earned, struck out 8, walked 5 so far this season, and is coming off one of his better starts of the season. That a nice appearance against Wash U last week. Get you some specific numbers on that here in a second, but Dubois, who is, who was a hitter and a pitcher early on in his career, has just pitched this season, and so far, fairly good results for Dubois, who is trying to establish himself as the team's fourth starter. For Dubois, his last start against Wash U went a season-long 4 innings, allowed just 5 hits, 3 runs, struck out 4, walked 1. And Dubois will take the hill here today against an Emory team that's looking for the sweep. The Spartans trying to avoid that as Dubois gets things going. Grossman, Schwartz, and Sicoli, 1, 2, and 3 in the Emory order. Lead things off in Game 2 with the sun shining on Nobby's Ballpark. Temperature in the mid-40s. The pitch from Dubois, a fastball outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. So we are underway with the final game. We are facing a 5 o'clock curfew for this game where the Emory team is going to need to head to the airport to catch their flight. The 0-1 on the outside corner, called strike, 0-2. The official rule for that is if you hit that point, and again, that gives us about 3.5 hours, so a decent amount of time to get the games in. But the official rule is once you hit that time, you continue as normal until that time, and then once it hits the first dead ball after that, the game ends with reference to the rules of the game. So, for example, the home team does need to have an answer in that inning. So if, let's say the score is tied 4-4, Emory's batting, they hit a home run, it's 5-4. Well, if they hit the end time then as a curveball dropped in for a called strike, and Grossman down looking. 1 out here in the first will bring up Ellis Schwartz. If we hit that drop dead time of 5 o'clock, the game would end in a 4-4 tie technically because Case Western Reserve would not have gotten a chance to answer in the bottom of the inning. So hopefully nothing we have to worry about here as, again, we've got 3 hours and change before that drop dead time. That one fouled off and the count goes to 0-1. Certainly not a overwhelmingly long time period for a baseball game, but certainly hoping that you could get it in that frame also and avoid any technicalities. Spartans, meanwhile, just trying to get on the right side of things here. They lost the final game of their series against Wash U and then 3 straight here against Emory. The 0-1 on the way to Schwartz is a called strike, 0-2. Schwartz hitting at .380 on the season, 4 home runs, 32 runs batted in. Now the 0-2 offering. Curveball, line drive, grabbed by Price out of the air for the second out of the inning. Nice grab there by Grant Price, who's starting for the second time in the last 3 games at third. And so now, with 2 outs in the inning, Matthew Sicoli will be the batter. And Sicoli checks his swing and takes ball 1, 1-0 the count. Called strike, 1-1. Ground ball back up through the middle and through for a base hit. It went just over the glove of Matthew Du Bois and Emory with their first hit of the game. A single up the middle for Matthew Sicoli, who is now on at first.
Batting fourth, designated hitter number 9, Henry Polinsky.
And they'll bring up Henry Polinsky, who had himself a tremendous first game of the doubleheader. Polinsky in that game drove in 5 runs, had a single, double, and a home run. The home run came in the first inning, and he'd love to replicate that feat here, as Polinsky, who's now hitting at .403 on the year, takes the first pitch for a called strike, a breaking ball there from Du Bois. Swing and a miss, a changeup, and it's 0-2. Du Bois looking sharp so far. Matthew Du Bois is 6'3", 200-pound junior out of Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Was hampered by an injury earlier in the season, but seems to be back in full form now, and the Spartans hoping he can turn in a good outing here. Fastball just outside, 1-2. For no other reason than the Spartans short on pitching as they head into the final game of this series. Curve just misses. Awfully close on those last 2. So now it's a 2-2 count, 2 away, runner at first. Du Bois with a look over. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball hit in the air, deep down the line and right. Cutting over as the right fielder Harms, and in the corner makes the catch for the out. And that ends the threat in the first. No runs a hit, no errors, and a man left on. We will move into the bottom of the first inning, and let's get you the batting order for the Case Western Reserve University Spartans here in the first inning. Leading things off will be the catcher, Jack Anderson. Batting second, Josiah Harris. Nick Harms, who just missed a home run, will bat third. And then Zach Carinci, the first baseman, in the cleanup spot. Kevin McKenzie, the left fielder, bats fifth. Connor Stevenson, the designated hitter, hitting sixth. Logan Andraco playing center field and batting seventh. Grant Price playing third and batting eighth. And then Owen Levinson, the shortstop, rounds out the order in the 9 spot. For Emory University defensively, it'll be Tyler McLaughlin at first base. Second baseman is Jacob Grossman. The shortstop is Zach Wasserloff, and the third baseman is Jack Halloran. In the outfield, Stephen Hunt gets the start in left, his third of the series. In center field is Ellis Schwartz, and then in right field is Matthew Sicoli. Doing the catching, Josh Katz, as he will catch his 4th straight game this series. And pitching to him will be Josh Zuckerman, a right-hander with a 2-1 record through 4 starts this season and a 6.88 ERA. Through 17 innings, he's given up 24 hits, so opponents hitting .333 against him, but he has walked just 3 and struck out 14. He's allowed 14 runs. 13 of those have been earned. Zuckerman, who wears number 32, a 6-foot-tall, 195-pound first-year player out of Boyds, Maryland, Northwest High School. And we'll get things going here against the Spartans. With the top of the order, Anderson, Harris, and Harms due up to bat. Zuckerman's last start came against NYU last Saturday. He picked up the win in the game, going 5 innings, allowing 2 runs on 6 hits, 6 strikeouts, no walks.
Number 5, Jack Anderson.
He's had 3 good starts out of his 4. The one he struggled in was an 11-2 loss at Piedmont, in which he allowed 8 runs, 7 of them were earned over 2 1/3 innings. He'll get things going here against Jack Anderson, who enters the game with a 17-game hitting streak and takes the first pitch inside for ball 1, 1-0. Now the 1-0 offering. Line drive hit up towards the middle, and a diving stop by Wasserluff. Throw on to first, and the throw pulled him off the bag. That'll go as an infield hit for Anderson.
Number 1, Josiah Harris.
So leadoff man on for the Spartans as Anderson reaches on an infield single. Took a nice play there by the shortstop Wasserluff to dive on top of it and throw on to first, but the throw was a little errant, pulled the runner off. I should say the first baseman off. First pitch swinging. Harris airs it out down the right field line, but foul. 0-1 the count. So for Anderson, that's now an 18-game hitting streak. And they have Anderson picked off. He'll try to get in a run down here, see if he can get back to the base. And the tag finally applied by Zuckerman. And so after the leadoff single, Anderson retired. I believe 1-3-6-1 on the pickoff. Now the 0-1. Line drive, base hit into left. And so Harris singles, back-to-back hits to start the game.
Batting third, right fielder number 26, Nick Harms.
And that will bring Nick Harms to the plate. Harms hitting at .368 on the year. First pitch, fastball low, and it's 1-0. Harms, at least the power has been held in check for him this series. Grounds that one and through for a base hit. Third straight hit to start the game for Case Western Reserve. Harris is going to go first to third. He loses his batting gloves along the way. The Spartans with 3 straight hits, although one of them erased on a pickoff. And now runners on the corners for Zach Carinci. Carinci has now hit safely in 12 straight games. His average climbing to .313 on the year. Hit a solo home run in the early game today. Breaking ball, misses off the outside corner, 1-0. Now the 1-0 on the way. Good fastball in the outer half, and it's 1-1. Throw down to first. Almost got Harms leaning. He dives back in just ahead of the tag, though. Harms takes his lead from first. We'll see if he's running here. He is. Pitch taken for a ball. Throw goes down to second. Not in time. So stolen base for Harms as the count goes to 2-1 at the plate. For Harms, that is stolen base number 7 on the year, and now 2 in scoring position with 1 away. Katz has had a little bit of a difficult time throwing out base runners this series, although, again, hasn't hurt his team's record. Here's the 2-1. And Currency tried to inside out one, but sends it foul, and the count evens 2-2 with 1 away and 2 in scoring position. 2-2 the count, 1 out. Spartans trying to strike first in this one with 2 in scoring position. 3 hits so far in the inning. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Well outside, full count 3-2. Payoff pitch coming. Big pitch here for Zuckerman, who is now 11 pitches deep into the outing. Swung on ground ball up towards the middle. Should get a run in. Scooped by Wasserlove, who's thrown to first, pulls the runner off the bag, and safe on the play is Currency. That will go as an error on the shortstop.
Number 10, Kevin McKenzie.
A run comes in to score. It's an RBI and an earned run. But now puts runners on the corners with 1 away. And the Spartans take the lead here early, 1-0. First time this series that the Spartans have taken the first lead of the game. As Kevin McKenzie, the batter, hitting a .297, swings and misses 0-1. Kevin, real aggressive at the plate, loves to take a hack at that first pitch. Here's the 0-1. Inside, and it hit him. And that will load the bases up. So the base is loaded here. And the batter will be Connor Stevenson, but not before meeting on the mound with Coach Twardowski heading out to talk to his first-year pitcher, who is in some trouble here in the first inning. Again, he's allowed 3 hits, a runner to reach on an error, and a hit by pitch. The only out in the inning was recorded on a pickoff. Things could be worse, certainly, and a chance for Zuckerman to get through some trouble here.
Now batting, designated hitter number 6, Connor Stevenson.
It'll be up to Connor Stevenson to keep the line moving. Stevenson, a .333 hitter on the year, getting the start as the designated hitter today. Here's the pitch. That one hit in the air. Left field, mid-range, might be deep enough to get the run in. The catch made in left. The throw comes in. Cut off. Throw to the plate. Not in time. Harm slides in safely. And it's a sacrifice fly for Stevenson, who gives the Spartans a 2-0 lead.
Batting 7th, number 7, center fielder Logan Andreyko.
Well, as mentioned before, Harms has good speed, and even on a ball that wasn't hit particularly deep, it would have taken a near-perfect throw to get him. And so a sacrifice fly for Stevenson, his 3rd RBI of the season, and now Logan Andreyko will bat, hitting a .242 on the year, had a double in the early game. Takes that pitch up high for a ball, 1-0. First and second now with 2 away. Currency at second base, McKenzie at first. Zuckerman, despite allowing the 3 hits and 2 runs, has not thrown a lot of pitches this inning. That one's outside for ball 2, 2-0. He's at just 17 pitches now, 9 of those strikes. Facing his 7th batter of the inning already, but again, has not worked deep into counts so far. For the most part, at least. That one's up high 3-0, and a walk here would load them up for Grant Price. (3-0) on the way. Well outside, ball 4, and the walk is issued. So that loads the bases. And we'll bring Grant Price to the plate.
Number 34, the third baseman, Grant Price.
So Price will hit here. 1 hit in 6 at-bats this season for Price. This is his first at-bat as a Spartan with the bases loaded. As a team, Case Western Reserve hitting .294 with the bases loaded this season. Carinci at third, McKenzie at second, and Draco at first, and a chance to put a stamp on this game early if you're Price, the left-handed hitter. First pitch, misses inside, 1-0. Price got his first hit as a Spartan yesterday. Takes that up high, 2-0. Junior transfer from Clarkson, where he played for 2 seasons. An open stance at the plate, awaits the 2-0 and pops it up, but fouling out of play, 2-1. Good pitch to try to jump on there if you're Price. Try to take advantage of Zuckerman struggling to find the strike zone, hoping that he just puts a 2-0 pitch in the zone that you could try to get a piece of. Bases loaded, 2 away, 2-1 on the way to Price. And the fastball at the knees for a called strike 2. So 2-2 now. Zuckerman from the stretch delivers. Swung on, fouled off. And Price stays alive. '25th pitch of the inning thrown by Zuckerman. The Spartans 2 runs in already, lead 2-0 over Emory in the bottom of the first. Bases loaded and timeout called. Another 2-2. Zuckerman wants the signs recycled. And they call a balk, and that'll bring across the run. So a balk by Zuckerman, who's a bit out of sorts on the hill. Carinci scores from third. And it's now 3-0. No argument from the Emory dugout. Count stays at 2-2 as the pitch on the way. Swung on, lifted in the air, foul and out of play, and we'll get another one. Second balk we've seen today by an Emory pitcher. So now McKenzie at third, Andrejko at second. Price at the plate with first base open, a 2-2 pitch. And he swings and misses strike 3, and that'll end the inning. But the Spartans strike first in this one with 3 runs on 3 hits. We'll move to the second, 3-0. Case Western Reserve with the lead. Well, Matthew Du Bois working with a 3-run lead. Actually, a pretty similar tale to the Wash U game from that he pitched in last, where the Spartans gave him an early 3-run lead in the first.
Batting fifth, first baseman number 31, Tyler McLaughlin.
For Emory, it will be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the lineup. McLaughlin, Halloran, and Hunt due up to begin the second with a 3-0 Spartan lead, and Du Bois starts them off down and in 1-0. Now the 1-0. Down low, 2-0. McLaughlin hitting a 308. And the Spartans have held his bat in check most of this series. So he has just 1 hit so far. Count goes to 3-0 as that misses down and in. But he had a big impact in the first game of this doubleheader, picking up a save with 3 shutout innings to close out the game. Worked out of some trouble in the 8th on the mound as well. The boys took a little bit off of that one. McLaughlin taking all the way, 3-1 the count. Now the 3-1 pitch. Ground ball hit up towards the middle. Diving attempt by Levinson, but it gets through for a single. Second hit of the game for Emory. McLaughlin on with his second hit of the series. And there's a runner on at first with nobody out. And they'll bring up Jack Halloran to the plate. Halloran hitting at .298. 3 home runs, 18 runs batted in this season. Double play depth in the infield for the Spartans, who will try to turn 2 with nobody out and a runner at first. That one grounded to short. Taylor made double play to second for 1. Harris relay on to first. In time for the out, 6-4-3 for the first 2 outs of the inning. So 2 gone now. Bases are empty. And the batter will be Stephen Hunt. Hunt, the 7-hitter, 283 batter on the year with no home runs, 4 runs batted in on the season. First pitch from Du Bois. Spikes a fastball, and the count goes to 1-0. Now the 1-0 count. Down and out, 2-0. Well, Du Bois tasked now with holding on to this lead for the Spartans against an Emory team that has proven to be tough this weekend. It's down low, 3-0. Spartans led 3-2 in the opening game of today, early on. Led 4-2 at one point, but Emory had a 5-run inning that turned the tide on that one, and the Spartans couldn't get back into it. Pitch misses down low, and that's ball 4. And so Hunt reaches on a walk. First walk of the day issued by Du Bois. And with a runner on and 2 away, the batter will be Zach Wasserloff, the shortstop.
Now batting number 23, the shortstop, Zach Wasserloff.
Wasserloff had a couple of misplays in that first inning at shortstop, and I'm sure would love to atone for that here. Takes a fastball that cuts in under the hands for a called strike, 0-1. Now the 0-1 pitch. And fouls that off, 0-2. So the boys a strike away from getting through the inning unscathed. Is 0-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, 1-2. One-two pitch from Du Bois. Curveball stays up high. 2-2 the count. Runner goes, the pitch fouled back. Hunt will have to retreat to first as Wasserloff fouls that one back to stay alive. Here's the 2-2 offering. Du Bois from the stretch. Delivers. Fastball in the dirt. Full count, 3-2. So the inning started with a single by Tyler McLaughlin, but on the next pitch, Jack Halloran grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. A walk issued to Hunt has put him on at first with 2 away. Now 3-2 pitch upcoming to Wasserloff with Josh Katz waiting out on deck. Runner will get the early start. Here's the 3-2. Fastball down and out, ball 4. And it's the second straight walk issued by Du Bois, and that will bring Matt Englander out to have a talk with him here. And he's trying to calm his pitcher down. The team spotted him a 3-run lead in the bottom of the first, and right now the last thing you want to be doing is issuing free passes. So a meeting on the mound between Englander, the catcher, Jack Anderson, and the pitcher, Matthew Du Bois. The junior who trying to take a step forward in his career. Du Bois, for his career, has an ERA of 8.04. Pitched limited innings in 2021, or was somewhat effective there, allowed 2 runs on 2 hits, 5 strikeouts. Last year, struggled keeping runners off bases, gave up 20 hits and 9 walks in 17 innings, but has been much better this season, just 7 walks and 5 hits over his 8 innings of work entering the game. Here he'll face the 9-hitter Josh Katz and starts him off with a ball in the dirt, 1-0. Just overthrowing that fastball a little right now. Another one misses, 2-0. Have to be careful here if you're Du Bois. You need to throw a strike. But you've got 2 runners on. And that one misses, ball 3, 3-0. And the dangerous thing is that out on deck you have Jacob Grossman, the second baseman and leadoff hitter, who's had himself a pretty nice series. Here's the 3-0. Fastball down the middle for a strike, 3-1. Stretching beginning in the Spartan bullpen. Strike on the inside portion of the plate, and it's full 3-2. So the runners will get the early start with a 3-2 count and 2 away. Could be a factor on a ball hit in a gap. Could score 2. 3-2, 2 away. The pitch from DuBois. Swung on, lifted in the air towards the left center field gap. Coming on and diving to make the Superman catch in left field is Andraco for the out. Pardon me, that's McKenzie who made the catch for the out. A tremendous catch for Kevin McKenzie. And that is the final out of the inning. So DuBois working around some trouble in the second, leaves 2 stranded. We'll move to the bottom of the second inning. 9-1-2 for the Spartans. Levinson, Anderson, and Harris as Case Western Reserve tries to add on to a 3-run lead when we come back. Three to nothing the score. Case Western Reserve University with the lead, batting in the second inning. 9-1-2 in the order. Levinson, Anderson, and Harris due up. Owen Levinson, a .333 hitter on the season, 9 for 27. Started the earlier game at third base when 1 for 4. With an RBI and a run scored.
For the Spartans, shortstop number 2, Owen Levinson.
Levinson steps up. Looking to get it going here for the Spartans in the second after Case Western Reserve sent 8 batters to the plate in the first, scored 3 runs. Squares to bunt, pulls it back, and takes the pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Zuckerman with 26 first inning pitches. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Now the 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Fouled back by Levinson. 2-2 as the count comes even. Levinson, Anderson, and Harris as the Spartans trying to keep the line moving here in the second with a 3-run lead, trying to salvage 1 game of the 4-game series. Here's the 2-2. That ball hit in the air. Center field, playable for Schwartz, who drifts back, gets underneath it, and puts it away for the out. 1 gone. The wind has been much friendlier for the outfielders today. Yesterday, following that storm, it was blowing pretty good, and there was some talk today that it was going to be pretty windy throughout the game today. But it has been pretty much as good as you can ask for a early April game in Cleveland. Temperature in the mid-40s, sunny outside. No wind whatsoever today as the breaking ball from Zuckerman misses up high, 1-0. Jack Anderson at the plate now, raised his batting average to .440 with an infield single in his last at-bat. And he'll ground that one to first. McLaughlin with it, takes it to the bag himself for the out. And quickly 2 retired for Zuckerman, who has sat down the last 3 batters he's faced.
Heading to the plate, second baseman number 1, Josiah Harris.
Now Josiah Harris will be the batter. He singled and scored a run in the first inning. He's now hitting a .295 on the year. Harris is really going through a nice stretch of his season. He's trying to be a real valuable player for the Spartans at second base defensively, and then hitting out of the 2 spot. That one grounded, diving stop by Grossman. Gets up, throws to first, and gets the out. And that will end the inning. So a quick inning for Zuckerman after a long first. Gets through the second in order, and we'll move to the third. Top of the order for Emory, Grossman, Schwartz, and Sicoli when we return. Three to nothing the score. Case Western Reserve with the lead as we move into the top of the third. Grossman, Schwartz, and Sicoli due up. Spartans trying to get one game of this 4-game series. They've dropped the first 3. Showed some signs of life in the early game, but just couldn't overcome what was a 4-run deficit. It hasn't been a clean series for Case Western Reserve. Some poor defense out in the field has cost them. Matthew Du Bois trying to pitch the Spartans to a win here today. He's thrown 38 pitches through the first 2 innings. Allowed just 2 hits. And starts off the leadoff hitter for the Eagles, Jacob Grossman, with a ball down and out, 1-0. That fastball is a little higher up and catches the corner. You can see when Du Bois is missing, it has to do with his release point. He holds on to the ball a little bit long, and then it drops down below the strike zone. Really focusing on that release point is key for him. There's a good breaking ball. Swung on, ground towards short. Backhanded by Levinson. Long throw to first. He just couldn't get it there in time. Boy, tremendous play by Levinson, who used the turf to his advantage, getting a nice hop. But that'll go as an infield single for Grossman, who beat it out by about half a step. Levinson, the fact that he made that close was impressive. So with a runner on at first and nobody out, curveball taken up high, 1-0 by Ellis Schwartz, 1-0 the count. Schwartz hitting at .376 on the year. 1-0. Fastball just misses below the knees, 2-0. Schwartz hit a liner. Took a nice play from Grant Price at third base, who leaped up and grabbed the ball for the out his last time up. Grossman leads from first. 2-0 pitch. Called strike, 2-1. Ground ball hit towards short. Another chance for Levinson, but he bobbles it. And everyone is safe. That'll be an error on Levinson. Grossman to second on the play.
Now batting right fielder number 18, Matthew Sicoli.
And so 2 on now with nobody out, and Matthew Sicoli will be the batter. First pitch, Sokoli squares to bunt, pulls it back, takes it down and in, ball one. Now the 0-1. Popped up, foul territory, out of play. 1-1 the count. Pitch on the way from Du Bois. Now step off as the runner retreats. They called a balk on that play. So Du Bois called for a balk. The first base umpire made the call. And now both runners will advance. So it's now second and third and a 1-1 count on Sokoli at the plate. Here's the pitch from Du Bois. Down low, 2-1. Jackson Brewer has begun to throw in the Spartan bullpen. 2-1. Down and out, 3-1. First base open, but nobody out, and Henry Polinsky is waiting out on deck. So Du Bois in some trouble here in the third. 3-1 pitch. Down low, ball four. And so the walk issued, and that will load the bases for the Eagles with Polinsky coming to the plate. Remember, Polinsky had the big first game of the doubleheader. He drove in 5 runs in that game, 3 for 4, with 2 runs scored, 5 RBIs, had a double and a home run. And here has a chance to get the Eagles on the board with the bases loaded and nobody out. First pitch, breaking ball, and it hit him. So the ball hit the batter. Polinsky will reach on a hit by pitch, and that brings across the first run of the game for Emory.
Now batting first baseman number 31, Tyler McLaughlin.
So it's 3-1 now. Still nobody out in the inning. Bases still loaded. The tying run's now in scoring position. Potential go-ahead run at first. And Tyler McLaughlin, the batter, who singled in his first at-bat. Again, he's got good power. Something to watch out for here. As he swings at that first pitch and misses 0-1. Du Bois was spotted a 3-run lead, but in danger of surrendering it here. The 0-1. Down and out for a ball, 1-1. Spartans defense pulled in at the corners, back in the middle infield, looking to turn 2 on a ground ball. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss at another fastball, 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. McLaughlin chasing the fastball down and in, and that's the first out of the inning.
Now batting third baseman number 14, Jack Halloran.
So one gone, a chance for a double play to end the thread here, but Jack Halloran will be at the plate. Halloran did ground into a 6-4-3 double play on the first pitch of his at-bat in the second inning. Hitting here with one out and the bases loaded. Tying runs in scoring position in a 3-1 game. First pitch. Fastball down and out, 1-0. The boys might not have much longer in this one, although I'm sure Coach Englander would love to see if Du Bois can get him through 3 innings here. 1-0. 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. No place to put Halloran. Grounded foul. 2-1. Been a bit of a nightmare of an inning for Du Bois, who allowed a single to start it. An error put 2 men on, followed by a walk and a hit batter. Cost him a run. Bases still loaded and trying to minimize the damage. 2-1. Fastball hit softly to second base. If they hurry, they could try for 2. To second for 1. On to first, double play turned. 4-6-3, and that'll get Du Bois out of the jam. Second time today that Halloran is grounded into a double play in this game. And the Spartans will maintain a 2-run lead as we move into the bottom of the third. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left on base. And we'll move to the bottom of the third. Heart of the Spartan order, Harms, Carinzi, and McKenzie as Case Western Reserve tries to add on when we get back. Welcome back to Nobby's Ballpark, the final game of the 4-game series between Emory and Case Western Reserve, with the Spartans leading 3-1 as we move into the bottom of the third. Nick Harms will be the batter. Harms singled. He's now batting at .377 after the first inning base hit. Came around to score a run later in the inning. Called strike as Harms falls behind 0-1. Harms 5 home runs, 13 runs batted in this season. The 0-1 swings through that one, and the count goes to 0-2. Zuckerman settled in nicely in the second. He's now sat down 4 straight batters. And he gets that one off the end of the bat. Shallow center field. Wasserluff going back. Coming in is Schwartz, and he makes the catch for the out.
Now batting first baseman number 31, Zach Carinzi.
So 1 out now, and Zach Carinci will be the batter. Well, Zuckerman's team is back in it here, and so important for him to try to keep things going as the Spartans likely into their bullpen next inning. Meanwhile, Carinci at the plate reached on an error in his last at-bat. Trying to extend his hitting streak to 13 games. Breaking ball stays up high, 2-0. Now the 2-0 pitch. That ball hit in the air, right field, playable. Reaching out and making the catch on the run in right field will be Sicoli for the second out. So 2 quickly retired here in the third. I'll bring up Kevin McKenzie, who was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. First pitch on the way. And McKenzie swinging. And fouls it off, 0-1. McKenzie now hitting at .297 on the year. He's driven in 9 this season. Count evens 1-1. Run on 3 hits, 1 error for Emory today. 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Case Western Reserve in the game. Swing and a miss brings the count to 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Well outside. Ball 2, 2-2. Zuckerman has settled in nicely. He's now at 44 pitches in the day. 25 of those have been strikes. Survived a rocky first inning. Ground ball, third base, backhanded by Halloran. Throw on to first on target. And that ends the frame. So for the second straight inning, Zuckerman retires the side in order. We move to the fourth. Bottom of the order for Emory. Hunt, Wasserluff, and Katz due up when we return. New pitcher on the mound for the Spartans will be Jackson Brewer, who takes over for Matthew DuBois. Final line on DuBois, 3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, 60 pitches through his 3 innings of work. Leaves the game with a 3-1 lead, and now Brewer, who will be making his 3rd appearance of the series and has looked good so far, will take over here. Brewer threw an inning on Thursday. Didn't allow a run on 2 hits through 13 pitches. Pitched again yesterday in the game. Went the final 2/3 of an inning, struck out 1. And will get his 4th appearance of the series here. 3rd appearance of the series, I should say. And we'll have a chance to give the Spartans some length in this game. Out of Greenville, South Carolina, Brewer, a sophomore. Six appearances entering today as he delivers the first pitch strike to Hunt, 0-1. No record, an 8.31 ERA. He's allowed 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned over 4 1/3 innings. 0-2 the count. Struck out 3, walked 5. Opponents hitting .333 against Brewer this year. Starting to earn some more time. Again, a guy that the Spartans thought they'd be relying heavily on this year, but some rocky outings at the beginning of the season for Brewer as he misses in with that one. That cost him, I think, a little bit early on, and now trying to find his way back into some meaningful innings, and certainly that's the case here. Let's count 1-1. Fouled away, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 from Brewer. Just off the outside corner, and it's a 2-2 count. Bottom of the order, Hunt, Wasserloff, and Katz due up for the Eagles. That's inside. Full count, 3-2. Swung on in the air, deep towards right, but playable for Harms, who gets underneath it and makes the catch for the out, 1 gone. Hunt retired for the first out of the inning. And Zach Wasserloff will be the batter. Wasserloff walked in his first trip to the plate in the second inning, hitting at .328 on the season. Called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Now the 0-1 pitch. Down and away, 1-1. Two and 1. And this game needs to be wrapped up by 5 p.m. It's when Emory's going to get on, well, give or take, when they're going to get on their bus and head to the airport. That one's popped foul and out of play, 2-2. So we have about 2.5 hours still to play with here, as we're in the top of the 4th. Called strike 3, and Wasserloff down looking. And back-to-back outs to start the 4th. A flyout and a strikeout.
Heading to the plate, catcher number 6, Josh Katz.
Now with 2 gone in the inning, batter will be the catcher, Josh Katz, who is 0 for 1 with a fly out to left. Called strike, 0-1. It was a great play in left field, as that one fouled off down the right field side, 0-2. It was a great play in left field by Kevin McKenzie that robbed Katz of a hit, prevented a run from scoring as well. Here's the 0-2. Just off the corner, and it's a 1-2 count. The 1-2 from Brewer. In the air, left field, deep but playable. Another chance for McKenzie, who comes charging in and makes the catch for the out. And a nice inning for Brewer, who you could just tell is pitching with some more confidence than he was earlier in the year. Retires the side in order in the 4th, and we'll move to the bottom of the frame with the Spartans leading 3-1. Stevenson on Draco and Price due up when we come back. First pitch swinging. Connor Stevenson pops it up and out of play. Foul ball, 0-1. Stevenson, the designated hitter, followed by the center fielder Logan Andreyko, and then Grant Price, the third baseman, to get things going against Zuckerman. Here in the fourth, again, Zuckerman gave up 3 runs in the first, but it's settled in nicely since. Misses outside there. It's 1-1. You get the feeling this one isn't going to quite end at 3-1. So some more runs going to be needed here if you're the Spartans. Bunted nicely down the third base side, but that'll tail foul. Second time that's happened today for the Spartans, where it's been a pretty good bunt, but just has tailed off into foul territory. And so the count at 1-2 on Stevenson. Connor, a sacrifice fly in his first plate appearance. That one misses low. It's 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And a called strike on the outer corner, and Stevenson not happy with that one. It appeared to be a little outside, and certainly had a gripe there. Well, that'll be the first out of the inning. So one gone, base is empty. Logan Andreyko, who drew a walk in the first, comes to bat. He's hitting a .242 on the year. Squares to bunt, pulls it back, and the count goes to 1-0. Inside corner, 1-1. Another one on that same spot, and it's 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Zuckerman, his 51st pitch of the game. Fouled off. Count stays at 1-2.
Heading to the plate, third baseman number 34, Grant Price.
And so that'll be strike 3. Sorry, I thought he fouled that one off, but Andreyko out. And so back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning. And now Grant Price will be the batter, who takes that for a ball, 1-0. So Zuckerman has a chance for another quick inning here with the bases empty, 2 away. 1-0 the count on Price. Throw down to first. Ooh. Sorry, only 1 out in the inning here. Anderson's on at first. Or Andreyko, I should say, is on at first. Yeah, so he swung and missed at that pitch and reached on the wild pitch there. Excuse me. The 2-0 called strike. So 2-1. And that's popped up. So it's 2-2. Andreyko, the first Spartan batter to reach base since he walked back in the first inning. Again, it came on a strikeout swinging, moving up on the wild pitch. Pickoff attempt at first, not in time. Two on the way. Throw down to first again, and Draco gets back. Logan, 2 stolen bases on 4 attempts, was caught trying to steal second with 2 outs in the 8th inning in a 1-run game earlier today. 2-2 on the way. Not going here, and it's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Price down swinging. That's the 3rd strikeout of the inning already for Zuckerman. 2nd out of the inning. Zuckerman has a chance for a 4-strikeout inning here. And so Levinson to the plate, trying to avoid that. He flew out to center in his first at bat. Throw down to first, not in time. If you're on Draco, you have to think about running here with Levinson at the plate. Levinson not really an extra base guy, as that's taken up high for a ball. And so anything you can do to get into scoring position gives you a chance here to get that extra run across. There's the 1-0. Not going, and it's inside. Levinson almost hit with that pitch, 2-0. Levinson's done a good job with the bat, though, this season, hitting at .321. He has a .471 on-base percentage. Three and 0. And this is not the guy you want to toy around with at the plate here if you're Zuckerman, with Jack Anderson, who's been one of the best hitters in Division III this season, waiting out on deck. 3-0 on the way. And Levinson, rightfully so, taking all the way there, and it's a 3-1 count. Three one to Levinson. Inside, and it's ball 4. So that'll put 2 on with 2 away. And the batter will be Jack Anderson, who's 1 for 2 in the game with a single and a ground out to first. Anderson now hitting at .435 on the year. He's driven in 21, including an RBI in the earlier game today. First pitch, takes a fastball in the outer corner for a strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 offering from Zuckerman. Shakes off a few signs, now gets something he likes. The 0-1 pitch. Ground ball, third base. Halloran with it, takes it to the bag himself, and that ends the inning. So the Spartans leave 2 stranded, and we will move along into the 5th. 3-1, Case Western Reserve leading. Top of the order for Emory, Grossman, Schwartz, and Sicoli when we come back. Well, Jackson Brewer with a solid first inning of work, retired the side in order, a fly out, a strikeout, and a fly out last inning. We'll look to pick things up with a bit of a tougher task with the top of the Emory order coming up here in the 5th. It's a 3-1 Case Western Reserve lead. The Spartans with 3 runs in the first inning and have held court since then. Emory scored a run in the top of the 3rd. Brewer came in relief of Matthew DuBois and is currently the pitcher of record here for the Spartans, should the score hold. Top of the order, though, It'll be Grossman, Schwartz, and Sokoli due up as the first pitch down and out for a ball to Grossman, who is 1 for 2 with a single and scored the run for Emory back in the third inning. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Brewer threw 15 pitches, 9 of them strikes in the first inning of work. Back in the fourth. Down and out with that one, and it's 2-1. Mentioned it at the end of last inning. He seems to be pitching with some more confidence now. Certainly has the talent to be a really impactful pitcher for this team. And again, Coach Englander turning to him today, hoping to get a good outing out of him here after he's pitched each of the previous, well, 2 of the previous 3 games for Emory. He pitched Thursday and then pitched again yesterday. Just outside, and it's 3-2 as Anderson tried to frame that on the outside corner. Three-two pitch. Chopper back up towards the middle. Levinson trying to cover ground, but it snakes through for a base hit. So Grossman with his second straight hit. A single up the middle, and the leadoff man is on for Emory for the third time through 5 innings today.
Center fielder number 2, Ellis Schwartz.
And now Ellis Schwartz will be the batter. Schwartz 0 for 2, a line out in the first, reached on an error in the third. That error was a ground ball to shortstop. Could have potentially started a double play with Grossman at first. Brewer would love to get another one of those here. Spartans have turned 2 ground ball double plays already today. That's down and out for ball 1, 1-0. Schwartz, a dangerous hitter, 373 on the season. Leads all Emory players with 32 runs batted in, but this one grounds to second. Flip to short for 1. Levinson on to first. Double play, turn 4-6-3. And for the third time today, the Spartans defense turns a double play. 3 double plays in 5 innings now. And Matthew Sokoli will bat here with the bases empty and 2 outs. Sokoli, a single and a walk today. He's 1 for 1. Called strike, and it's an 0-1 count. Well, said early this has been a bit of a sloppy defensive series for the Spartans, but maybe starting to come out of that defensive funk a bit as that fastball is called a strike, and it's 0-2. As they've started, especially in the middle infield, to look a little bit more in sync in this game today. Just a little high with that one, and it's 1-2. Ground ball, first base. Carinci has it, takes it to the bag himself, and another quick inning for Brewer, who works around a leadoff single with the help of a ground ball double play. No runs on a hit, no one left on, and we'll move to the 5th. Harris, Harms, and Carinci for Case Western Reserve when we come back. 2, 3, and 4 in the Case Western Reserve order. The Spartans scored 3 in the first, but have been quiet since then. Case Western Reserve hasn't had a hit since the third batter of the game. That was Nick Harms' single. But those 3 runs in the first have held up so far, as some good pitching for the Spartans between Matthew DuBois, who's able to walk the tightrope in the second and the third, and now Jackson Brewer, who's pitched 2 scoreless innings of relief, and we move to the bottom of the 5th in a 3-1 game. Harris leads off with a bunt attempt, back to the pitcher, throw on to first in time to get the out. So Harris trying to bunt for a base hit there, but unable to do so successfully, and there'll be 1 out now for Nick Harms, who is 1 for 2 in the game with a single and a run scored. Harms with a single and a fly out to center field in his 2 trips to the plate. And what looked like it was going to be a rocky outing for Zuckerman has turned into a pretty solid performance. Harms swings through the first pitch changeup, and it's 0-1. I was talking with Nick in between games, and I asked him, I said, hey, that ball in the first game that you hit that was kind of the controversial, was it a home run or not? I asked him, did it go over? And Nick looked at me, he goes, I don't know. He goes, I don't know if it went over or not, he said, but I don't know how it did what it did one way or the other. And I think that's kind of was everyone's thought after that, as the count goes to 2-1 on Harms. Three and 1 the count. Now the 3-1, dangerous pitch. And it misses outside, ball 4. So ball 4 to Harms, and he'll be on base. And something to look out for here with Harms is that he has been active on the base paths early on. And so we'll see if he's running here with Carinci at the plate. Harms with a steal already in this game. He's now 7 for 8 on stolen base attempts this season, as that's in there for a called strike, 0-1. Ground ball and through for a base hit. So that ends a stretch of about 3 innings or so without the Spartans getting a base hit, as Carinci singles through the right side. That also extends his hitting streak to 13 games. And it's now first and second with 1 away for Kevin McKenzie. McKenzie was on after getting hit by a pitch in the first and then grounded out to third back in the 3rd inning. Runners are going. The pitch grounded to second. Second baseman fields it there, steps on the bag, and throws to first. And what a unfortunate turn of events for the Spartans, who put the hit and run on to avoid a double play. And the ball went right to the second base bag, and it allowed the second baseman to just field it, step on the bag, and throw to first to get the double play. And so after the Spartans had turned 3 double plays earlier in the game, Emory gives them a taste of their own medicine. And that ends the 5th. No run to hit, no errors, and a man left on base. 6th inning coming up. It's 3-1. Case Western Reserve with the lead. Henry Polinsky will be the batter. He has the only RBI of the game after he was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded, facing Jackson Brewer for the first time. Brewer's faced the minimum through his first 2 innings of work. Takes that pitch down and in for a ball, 1-0. Breaking ball for a strike, 1-1. 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error for Emory. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for Case Western Reserve as we start the 6th. Fouled off, and it's 1-2. No action yet in the Spartan bullpen, so Brewers got this game for the moment. And that hits Polinsky. So on a 1-2 pitch, Polinsky hit, and he'll take first base. And the leadoff man on for the second straight inning against Brewer. A 4-6-3 double play erased the leadoff base runner in the 6th, or in the 5th, I should say. And the Spartans back in double play depth in the infield as McLaughlin swings and grounds that one to short. Levinson to second for 1. Harris on to first. Double play turned by the Spartans. And for the 4th time today through 6 innings, the Spartans get the double play, this time 6-4-3. So once again, a double play turned by Case Western Reserve. That's the 4th time in the last 5 innings. Some good defense for the Spartans today. And now the base is empty for Jack Halloran, who's grounded into 2 of those double plays. A 6-4-3 double play in the 2nd, a 4-6-3 double play in the 3rd. That one barely misses for ball 1, 1-0 the count. That one catches, and it's a 1-1 count. Brewers done a good job keeping the ball on the ground. All but 2 of his outs in this game have come on ground outs. Breaking ball just misses inside, and it's 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Called strike, and it's 2-2. And Brewer a strike away from another quick inning as he's faced the minimum through the first 8 batters he's faced so far, trying to make it 9. Into center field, and Draco there, and he puts it away for the out. And so another quick inning for Brewer. We'll move to the bottom of the 6th. Stevenson on Draco and Price due up when we come back. Welcome back. It's Case Western Reserve leading 3-1 and coming to bat here in the bottom of the 6th, and they'll face a new pitcher. Tremendous outing after a rocky start for Josh Zuckerman. We'll give you his final line here. 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, one of them earned, excuse me. He walked 3, struck out 4. 75 pitches for Zuckerman, who will give way to number 15, Connor Skirtich. Skurdich, making his 6th appearance of the season, his 5th out of the bullpen. An ERA of 4.40 and no record through 14 and third innings. He's given up 15 hits for a 259 opponent's average. 7 earned runs allowed, 12 runs total. He's walked 5 and struck out 4 this year. And we'll begin against the bottom of the Case Western Reserve order with Stevenson, Andreyko, and Price. 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup coming up. So Skurdich, the lefty, takes the hill. And first pitch swinging, grounded softly over to second base. And Stevenson retired for the second time today. And there's one out. Skurdich, a lefty, 5'10", 170 pounds, a sophomore out of Agoura Hills, California, Notre Dame High School. Will face a lefty here in Logan Andreyko, who is 0 for 1 on the game with a walk and then reached on a wild pitch after a strikeout swinging in the 4th. Pops up the first pitch he sees there. Could be trouble as it will come down in foul territory, though, and no one will get to it. And it's an 0-1 count. So Andreyko will take the long jog back to the plate. 3-1 the score. The Spartans leading. They've made a 3-run first inning hold up with some pretty good pitching so far. Matthew Du Bois allowed 1 run in 3 innings, and then Jackson Brewer has pitched 3 scoreless. Big curveball taken for a strike by Andreyko, and the count goes to 0-2. Still no action, it appears, in the Spartan bullpen, and so at least for the moment, this is Jackson Brewer's game. And he certainly earned that. He looks very good today, as he has all weekend long. Ground ball hit up towards the middle, fielded by the shortstop Wasserloff, who throws on to first in time to get the second out of the inning. Andreyko retired. Couple ground outs to start the 6th for Skurdich, and now it'll be up to Grant Price, who has struck out twice today, both times swinging. First pitch on the way. Breaking ball inside, and it's 1-0. Each team with 4 hits in this one. It's been a well-pitched game, especially for the 4th game of a 4-game series. You expect teams to be on fumes a little bit with their pitching staff, but that hasn't been the case today. Pretty good outings from Zuckerman, and then from Du Bois and Brewer for the Spartans. Swing and a miss there, and it's 1-2. You know, at times you think, okay, teams are going to be struggling at the back end of these series with their 4th best starting pitcher typically on the mound, but you forget, too, that, you know, these teams are playing their 3rd game in the last 24 hours, and the bats are going to be a little tired as well. See, they'll say Price went around swinging. That's the 3rd out of the inning. Strikeout there for Skurdich. And that ends the 6th. 1-2-3 inning for the Spartans. In the 6th to the 7th we go. Bottom of the order for Emory. Hunt, Wasserloff, and Katz due up when we return. Jackson Brewer begins inning number 4 on the hill. He's looked great so far, starting things off against Stephen Hunt here. Delivers the first pitch low, 1-0. 3-1 the score. Case Western Reserve has led since the start pretty much, as that one catches for a strike, 1-1. Brewer has been both effective and efficient in this game today. 36 pitches through his first 3 innings of work. He's faced the minimum. That one pops sky high. He'll get fouling out of play, and the count goes to 1-2. And the Spartans trying to get a game in this series after dropping the first 3. Breaking ball. Had Hunt off balance, but he fouls it off anyway, and it's 1-2. Hunt hitting at .278 on the year, 0 for 1 in today's game with a walk and a fly out to right. The 1-2. Fastball outside corner, called strike 3, and Hunt down looking. So Brewer continuing to deal on the hill. His second strikeout of the game. And there's one out here in the 7th as Zach Wasserloff will be the batter. Wasserloff hitting at .323, 0 for 1 with a walk. Struck out looking is only a bat against Brewer. That back in the 4th. That one taken outside for a ball. Brewer has faced the minimum through the first 3 1/3 innings he's pitched. Down and out, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Ground ball and through for a base hit. So Wasserloff singles. 5th hit of the game for Emory, first for Wasserloff, and just the second allowed by Brewer. Well, the Spartans have turned double plays in 4 of the last 5 innings. We'll see if they could keep that trend going here as Josh Katz steps up. Katz hitting at .268, 0 for 2 in the game with a pair of flyouts to left. Pitch taken for ball 1. It's 1-0. Wasserloff has stolen 8 bases on 9 attempts, and you could see Brewer paying attention to him out there. Potential game-tying run at the plate in the form of Katz, who squares to bunt, pulls it back, and takes it inside, ball 2, 2-0. Two-0 pitch. Called strike, it's 2-1. Graham Price playing way in at third to defend against the bunt here. Throw down to first. That throw there, certainly partially to keep the runner close, but maybe an added benefit there for Brewer of seeing if the bunt was still on, or at least if Katz would show if the bunt is still on. It doesn't appear to be, as that misses inside. Showed no signs of bunting there, and the count goes to 3-1. Action in the Spartan bullpen for the first time since Brewer has entered the game, as that misses up high, ball 4. And now the walk issued puts 2 on with 1 away, the potential game-tying runs.
Now batting second baseman number 7, Jacob Grossman.
I believe that's Austin McGowan who is warming in the bullpen for the Spartans. McGowan pitched on Thursday. Meanwhile, back to the top of the order now for Emory. And Jacob Grossman will be the batter. Grossman has hits in each of his last 2 at-bats, including one in the 5th against Brewer. He's also struck out looking. That back in the 1st inning. Look back to first. Now Brewer delivers. In there for a strike, it's 0-1. Now the 0-1 pitch on the way. Fastball just below the knees, and it's 1-1. Brewer now at 51 pitches. This is by far his longest outing of the season. So he's had a pretty heavy workload here, and again, coming off of being used in yesterday's game and then being used on Thursday as well. His third appearance in the last 4 days, but he's been good all three so far. That ball hit in the air towards the gap, right center field, going back. His arms reaching up, and it's just out of his reach. Coming in to score from second will be Wasserloth. Katz goes all the way to third, and pulling in at second with an RBI double is Jacob Grossman. It's now a one-run game with the potential go-ahead and game-tying runs in scoring position. And that's going to be it, I believe, for Brewer, as Coach Englander will go to the bullpen here with Brewer in some trouble despite a really nice outing, but just maybe ran out of some gas here in the seventh. 3-2 the score. Call to the Case Western Reserve bullpen when we come back. Welcome back once again as Case Western Reserve will send Austin McGowan to the mound here with some trouble here in the seventh. A run across for Emory, 2 in scoring position. The 1-0 on the way to Ellis Schwartz. Misses down and in, and it's 2-0. McGowan, the first-year pitcher out of Bellefontaine, Ohio, Benjamin Logan High School, righty, 6'1", 200 pounds. Making his second appearance of the series. Called strike, and it's 2-1. McGowan threw the final inning of Thursday's 9-0 loss to Emory. Struck out one batter, faced 3 in a perfect inning of work. He's going to have to walk the tightrope here as a 2-1 on the way. Big curve fouled off, and it's 2-2. For the season, McGowan, a 4.50 ERA through 6 appearances, including a pair of starts. The Spartan infield taking a few steps in to try to cut the run down at the plate and preserve a 1-run lead. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball. Did he go around? No, says the umpire at third. And the count goes full, 3-2. So 3-2 count with one away. Runners at second and third. 3-2 the score as well. The Spartans leading, but that lead in jeopardy. The pitch. Breaking ball swung on and just getting a piece of it with Schwartz to stay alive. A gutty 3-2 curve. So another 3-2 pitch coming up. McGowan delivers. Curveball, and that one swung on and missed at strike three. And a tough out there for McGowan. He gets the strikeout, which is big, because that allows the Spartans to pull their infield back at normal depth here. With 2 outs now in the inning. Still runners at second and third. And the batter is Matthew Sicoli. Sicoli 1 for 2 in the game with a single, a walk, and a ground out to first. Hitting at .369 on the season. Takes that one for a strike, and it's 0-1. See if McGowan can work his way out of some trouble here. Ahead in the count, 0-1. Runners at second and third and 2 outs in a 1-run game trying to preserve the lead. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball down and out, 1-1. We're in the top of the 7th inning. The Spartans have led since the bottom of the first, but that in jeopardy. Running across in the inning for Emory, trying to add on more here as that ball popped up. Right field should be playable along the line. Now in foul territory, Harms makes the catch, and the inning is over. So good job by Austin McGowan, who comes out of the bullpen with runners at second and third, representing the potential game-tying and go-ahead runs. And he's able to get a strikeout and a flyout to end the Emory threat in the 7th. The Spartans clinging to a 1-run lead will send Levinson, Anderson, and Harris 9-1 and 2 in the lineup to the plate in the bottom of the 7th when we return. Nine 1 and 2 for the Spartans in a 1-run game. 3-2 the score. Owen Levinson leading things off. First pitch breaking ball from Skirtich, who begins his 2nd inning of work. Taken first strike by Levinson, 0-1. Now fastball, low for ball 1, 1-1 the count. Skurdich, the lefty, delivers the 1-1. Levinson squares to bunt, pulls it back, and it's a 2-1 count. Here's the 2-1 pitch. In the air. Foul and out of play. And the count evens at 2-2 on Levinson. 0-0 for 1 in the game. Reached on a walk back in the 4th inning. Flew out to center in the 2nd. He's facing a 2-2 count here to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Looking to get on ahead of Jack Anderson, who's out on deck. As that one just misses for ball 3. Full count 3-2. Now the 3-2 pitch. Grounded foul to stay alive, and Levinson will keep the at-bat going. Skurdich threw just 8 pitches in his first inning of relief. He's already 6 pitches deep, about to be 7 here in his 2nd inning because of a good at-bat by Levinson, who takes that outside for ball 4. And Levinson, who has done a good job at the bottom of the lineup, again, mentioned with the bat, and he's certainly gotten his share of hits this year. But what's most impressive that he's done is he's drawn walks. You know, it's 5 walks this season, actually 7 if you include the 2 today. His on-base percentage is getting close to 500. And if you could do that out of the 9 spot, especially with Jack Anderson hitting in the leadoff spot, as we'll see here, that's a pretty good job by Levinson. Anderson squaring to bunt, and they'll call him out. They'll say he bunted it and then got hit with the ball in fair territory, although the umpires are going to, nope, they'll call the runner back. And so they'll say Anderson, I believe, called out on that play because he bunted it and was hit with the ball in fair territory. So Anderson trying to sneak a bunt in there, but unsuccessfully so. And now Josiah Harris will bat here with a runner at first and 1 away. Harris hitting at 283. Levinson dives back in. Harris 1 for 3 in the game. He tried to bunt for a base hit his last time up. Levinson 2 stolen bases on 3 attempts this year, including 1 earlier today in the first game of the doubleheader. Spartans have attempted just 1 stolen base here in game 2. Curveball. Granted, they have not had very many base runners to attempt steals with here in game 2. Levinson not going. It misses outside. 2-0. Nick Harms is out on deck. As the Spartans looking to add on, leading 3-2. I doubt we would see Tyler Horvath or Patrick O'Connor in this game, as Coach Englander is going to have to try to piece the bullpen together here. That one lined to short. Wasserloff with the catch. Throw back to first in time to get the double play. A 6-3 double play turn by Emory. The 6th double play between the 2 teams. 2nd turn by the Eagles today, and that ends the 7th. To the 8th we go. 4, 5, and 6 in the Emory order. Polinsky, McLaughlin, and Halloran due up when we come back. 0-1 the count is Polinsky at the plate. Henry Polinsky, the four-hitter, in the lineup for Emory, batting at .397, facing Austin McGowan here in the 8th. Ground ball first base side, through for a base hit. A nice diving attempt there by Carinci, but it gets through the infield, and the Eagles, with nobody out, have the potential game-time run on at first. So I'll bring Tyler McLaughlin to the plate and put a pinch runner on as well. So a pinch runner at first will be number 35, Nick Sullo, who we saw earlier in the game, or in the day, I should say. So Sullo on as a pinch runner takes his lead. McGowan set to deliver. First pitch, a little high, 1-0. Now the 1-0 offering. Curveball down low, 2-0. Well, McGowan came in, got the final 2 outs in the 7th inning with runners at second and third and 1 away without allowing another runner to score, and immediately thrown back into the fire here now with a leadoff single by Polinsky, and now Sullo pinch running at first. Good two-seamer, catches for a strike, and it's 2-1 on McLaughlin, who is a dangerous hitter at the plate, although, again, for the most part, has been held in check in this series. He's just 1 for 3 in the game today. Down low, 3-1. And that one fouled off. So the count full, 3-2. Three and two count with nobody out. Swung on, ground ball hit towards second. Harris was moving towards second base to cover with the runner going, and does a good job to recover his balance, field the ball, and throw to first to get the out. That does move the potential game-tying run up 90 feet into scoring position, as Sullo, running on the play, is now at second base with 1 away, and Jack Halloran, the batter, will be up. Halloran takes his lead from second. Here's the pitch. And the breaking ball hits him, and either off the bat or the top of the back, I should say, or the top of the helmet. Either way, Halloran seems to be okay. No worse for the wear. And he'll take first base. And so there'll be 2 on. Now the potential game-tying and go-ahead runs on the base paths with Sullo at second, Halloran at first. And the batter at the plate is Stephen Hunt. Hunt 0 for 2 in this game. A walk, a flyout, and a strikeout looking, facing McGowan for the first time. First pitch. Ground ball chopped towards third. Price gives way to Levinson, who throws on the run but not in time. And that'll be an infield single for Hunt to load the bases. I'm not sure anyone had a shot at that. It was clear Levinson called off Price. Price, if he was able to get to it, had the better opportunity with his momentum taking him towards the first base bag. But honestly, the way that one was hit, I don't think anyone had an easy play on it. And so it loads the bases with 1 out, and the Spartans, who have turned 4 double plays already today, boy, can they get 1 more here. Wasserloff will be the batter. He singled in his last at-bat, and he's 1 for 2 in the game with a walk and a strikeout as well. Came around to score in the 7th inning after that base hit, as he takes that outside for ball 1. It made it a 3-2 game at the time, and after getting the Eagles a run closer with that run in the 7th inning, now can either even the score or potentially give Emory a 1-run lead. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Fouled back, and it's 1-1. If you get the ball at third or at first, and especially at third, I think you have to come home to get the force there. Same thing if you're the pitcher in this situation. That one barely misses. It's 2-1. One out, 2-1 the count. If you're one of the middle infielders, you're trying to turn 2 in this situation by going to second base first. Swing and a miss, 2-2. But especially with Price and Carinci both at the edge of the cutout, you would expect them to probably come home with that ball. Two. Swung on, chopper, back up towards the mound. McGowan has it, tries to flip to the catcher, but not in time. It'll go as an infield hit, and it brings across the tying run. It's 3-3. Well, that's the kind of weekend it's been, and that one just chopped into no man's land there. And that ties the game. 3-3 the score. So the bases are loaded. Still just 1 out in the inning. Well, Wasserloff didn't get a lot of that one, but just chopped it off the plate, and the way it was high enough and hit out in front of the mound, and the only person who could possibly get to that was McGowan. He did all he could. He rushed in. The only play he had was at the plate. But again, just nothing to do about that. Bad luck for the Spartans and for McGowan. And so the game now tied at 3 and a chance for more for Emory with the 9-hitter. Josh Katz, the catcher at the plate. He's 0 for 2 in the game with 2 flyouts and a walk. And once again, McGowan is going to have to try to walk the tightrope here to keep this game tied at 3-3. We're in the top of the 8th, a run across in each of the last 2 innings, and did that hit him? And the umpire says it did. So Katz hit by the pitch, and that brings across the go-ahead run. So it's now 4-3. So 4-3 the score, and now back to the top of the order. Still just 1 out in the inning. Called strike, and it's 0-1 on Grossman. Grossman 3 hits today, 3 for 4. Each of those hits have come in his last 3 at-bats, 2 singles and a double. And he can break this game open here with another base hit. Fastball low, it's 1-1. Now the 1-1 offering. Up high, 2-1. Well, you really just don't have any room for error here if you're McGowan at this point. The Spartan bats have been quiet since the first inning. And you allow another run or two, and you certainly don't feel good about Case Western Reserve's chances. That ball lifted in the air, right field along the line, but fouling out of play, and the count evens 2-2. So 2-2 pitch upcoming, 1 out, bases loaded. 1 strikeout today for McGowan. Trying to get another one here with Grossman at the plate. And he can on that pitch as it misses outside. Ball 3 with no place to put Grossman. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A huge strikeout there for McGowan. And that might be the last batter he faces. And it looks like it will be. So the Spartans will go to the bullpen here. My guess is it's the lefty Jonathan Simon who we'll see to face the lefty Ellis Schwartz. Simon coming in from the bullpen. And so the Spartans trailing 4-3. Emory still with the bases loaded. Simon will try to get one more out here when we come back. Four 3 the score. Emory with the lead now. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and Jonathan Simon will be the pitcher in relief, and he delivers the first pitch in there for a strike to Ellis Schwartz as Coach Englander going for the lefty-lefty matchup here with the senior Simon on the mound out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Simon got off to a strong start to the year, but has struggled over his last few appearances. A swing and a miss there by Schwartz, and it's 0-2. He's 2-0 on the year through 6 appearances with a 6.14 ERA. He's given up 5 runs on 5 hits, striking out 7 and walking 3 in 7 1/3. Needs one more big strike here ahead in the count 0-2 to keep it at a 1-run game. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss at a curveball, strike 3, and Simon comes in, throws 3 pitches, and gets a strikeout to end the Emory threat. But the Eagles score 2 runs on 3 hits in the 8th, and now the Spartans find themselves trailing with 6 outs left to work with. 4-3 the score as we move into the bottom of the 8th. Heart of the order here in the 8th inning for Case Western Reserve coming up. It's Harms, Carinci, and McKenzie due up when we come back. Case Western Reserve University trailing now and coming to bat trailing for the first time in this game, trying to avoid the sweep. And they have 6 outs to do so. Nick Harms will lead things off, hitting at .372 on the year. Harms is 1 for 2 in this game. A single, a flyout, and a walk. It's a lefty-lefty matchup with Skerich still on the mound. He has pitched well in relief today. So far, 2 innings, no hits, a walk, and a strikeout. He's thrown just 18 pitches. And will face Harms, the lefty here. As Harms with certainly the ability to even the score on one swing. As that one misses down and out for a ball, 1-0. And so Skerich is going to have to be careful here with Harms at the plate. Here's the 1-0 offering. That ball crosses the plate and it's 1-1. Harms, Carinci, and McKenzie due up here in the 8th. Spartans down a run, 6 outs to work with. Ground ball, first base side. Easy play there for McLaughlin, who takes it to the bag himself for the first out of the inning. And there's one gone. So 1 out now, and Zach Carinci to the plate. Carinci singled in his last at bat to extend his hitting streak to 13 straight games. Homered in the first game of the day and takes a curveball in the outer corner for a strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one hit in the air, deep towards left field, going back, looking up, and it's off the base of the wall. Hunt fields it in left. Carinci chugs into second with an extra base hit, and the Spartans have something going. Their first extra base hit of this game. And Carinci narrowly missed his second home run of the day after homering in the earlier game, and he is really starting to see the ball well now. That's just the second Spartan hit since the first 3 batters of the game. And that is going to be it for Skirtich here, as he will depart this game and call the bullpen for Coach Twardowski and the Eagles. New pitcher coming in for Emory when we come back.
24, Mike Golub.
Well, the pitching change for Emory comes with a runner at second and one out in the inning, and it'll be Mike Golub coming into the game. Golub threw on Thursday, went the ninth inning and closed out a 9-0 Emory win in that game. Struck out 2, walked 1 in his 1 inning of work. Got Draco and Stevenson to strike out swinging in that appearance, and maybe that's on Coach Twardowski's mind with Stevenson up on deck and on Draco in the hole. It'll be Kevin McKenzie to bat here, the 5-hitter in the Spartan lineup. It'll be the first batter to face Golub. Golub, who wears number 24, a 6-foot-tall, 180-pound senior righty out of Encino, California, Harvard Westlake High School. He's 1-0 on the year through 10 appearances with a 3.18 ERA. In 17 innings pitched, he's given up 14 hits, 9 runs, 6 of them earned, 18 strikeouts, 7 walks, and a .219 opponent's average this season for Golub, who's been one of the better pitchers for Emory this year. And the Spartans will have to try to get a run off him. Golub enters the game with a runner in scoring position, potential game-tying run in the form of Zach Carinci. Kevin McKenzie, who we've seen all weekend long and really all throughout his career, be very aggressive at the plate. We'll see if he's first pitch swinging here against Golub.
Stepping up to bat, fielder number 10, Kevin McKenzie.
As McKenzie settles in. He's 0 for 2 in the game, hitting a .282 on the year. After a red-hot start to his year, he has cooled off considerably, but could turn the tide a bit here, both in the game and in his season, with a base hit that would score the potential game-tying run. First pitch to McKenzie, takes it down and out for a ball, so not chasing there on the first pitch as the count goes to 1-0. Kevin, a free swinger. He's got good opposite field power. They're giving him a pretty big gap in right center field to work with. The 1-0 pitch. That one misses up high, 2-0. And Golub comes from a great high school pitching program in Harvard Westlake. So that one fouled back. Turned out 3 guys who are in major league starting rotations. That's pretty darn good. And John Flaherty, Lucas Giolito, and Max Fried. Giolito and Fried were taken, I believe, within the top 10 picks of the same draft in Major League Baseball, straight out of high school. That ball in the dirt gets away. It's ball 3, and moving up to third is Carinci. And that's huge with 1 out, and now a 3-1 pitch upcoming here with a potential game-tying run just 90 feet away. So Carinci with a key run down at third base. McKenzie at the plate trying to drive him in. It's 3-1. And it misses up high, ball 4. And McKenzie draws the walk. And it's now first and third with 1 away. And the Spartans will go to the bench here. And it looks like Jay Smith will come up to pinch hit. Smith was taking swings in the batting cage. He's going to have to find his bat and now come up to pinch hit. So Smith steps up.
Your attention, please. Now hitting for the Spartans at number 9, Jay Smith.
Smith had a couple of key at-bats in the earlier game today. He had a double in the 6th inning that started a 3-run Case Western Reserve rally and then drew a walk later in that inning, or later in the game in the 8th. First pitch is well down and in, and Golub having some trouble finding the strike zone currently, and that will bring out the Emory pitching coach. I believe for the first time in this series that we've seen Emory's pitching coach, head out there. That's Sam Carpenter. Came to the Eagles after a career at Piedmont College, where he was a pitcher. Good Piedmont baseball program located about maybe an hour and change north of where Emory is located in Demarest, Georgia. Meeting on the mound breaks up. This is going to be Golub's game one way or the other, and he's in a little bit of trouble here. Struggling with his control a bit after coming into the game with a runner at second. A wild pitch and a walk have put runners on the corners, and he's behind in the count 1-0 on the pinch hitter, Jay Smith. Smith can tie the game potentially with an out here. He takes that one for a called strike, and it's 1-1. McKenzie, the runner at first. We'll see if he's in motion at all to potentially break up a double play. Tough to do here with the potential game-time run at third. That misses down low for a ball, 2-1. Again, we've seen 6 double plays turned in this game between the two teams, 4 by the Spartans, 2 by the Eagles. Here's the 2-1. Line drive, base hit into right field, and that'll tie the game up. Pinch hit single for Jay Smith, who comes up with another big hit. McKenzie, the potential go-ahead run, moves up to second base. Carinci comes in to score, and it's 4-4. So now with 1 out in the inning, Logan Andreyko will be the batter. Andreyko hitting a .229 on the season, 0 for 2 in this game, with a walk, a strikeout, and a ground out. Pitch taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. Breaking ball misses inside, 1-1. Grant Price is out on deck. I'd be curious if the Spartans pinch hit for him after he's already struck out 3 times in this game today, or if they let him get a chance for redemption next, one way or the other. Here's the 1-1. Fouled back, and it's 1-2. I would imagine the thought by Coach Englander here, and we'll see, is that if the game is still tied, he might go to the bench for a pinch hitter. If they take the lead here with Andreyko at the plate, he may let Price hit and keep the better defensive option at third. That ball swung on, lofted in the air, shallow left field, and it drops in for a single. They will hold the runner at third, but it's a 2-strike base hit for Andreyko. And the bases are now loaded with 1 away. Price due up here, and let's see if they go to the bench or if it's Price's opportunity to hit, and it will be Price who will be swinging away here. So Price has struck out 3 times today. We'll try to turn that around. He's now struck out 6 times in 9 at-bats this season. And a strikeout would be costly here. Price has got to make contact in this situation. Bases are loaded, 1 away. A situation where a productive out can give the Spartans a lead. Pitch is taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. Price now 1 hit in 9 at-bats this year. The hit came in yesterday's ball game. The 0-1 swings, fouls it off, and it's 0-2. And so Price now in a 2-strike hole. To the count, 1 away, bases are loaded. And a check swing fouled off by Price. The count stays at 0-2. Price has got to try to find a way to drive this runner in here. Coach Englander staying with him in this situation, with the potential go-ahead run at third here in the bottom of the 8th. Line drive, first base side, but foul. He was a bit out in front of that one. And so the count stays at 0-2 as Price fighting off some pitches here from Golub. Ground ball again fouled off. Count stays still at 0-2. Approaching the 4 o'clock hour. Here's the 0-2. Up high, 1-2. Now the 1-2 pitch. And a called strike 3. Price down looking. And so that is a key second out for Golub.
Number 2, Owen Levinson.
And now 2 outs in the inning, and it's up to Owen Levinson. Levinson 0 for 1 in the game, 2 walks and a fly out to center. He's hitting at .321 on the year and batting here in one of his biggest at-bats of the season. First pitch to Levinson, called strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Now the 0-1. Just outside, 1-1 the count. Levinson's got that good eye at the plate, and Golub has struggled with his control a little bit today, although seems to have settled in a bit here after the strikeout of Price. Since coming into the game, he's allowed a walk and back-to-back singles before that strikeout. That ball lofted in the air. Shallow center field could be trouble. Coming in is Schwartz. He dives and he can't make the catch. 1 run in to score. Second run comes across. And the Spartans take a 6-4 lead. A single to center field for Levinson, although certainly one that Schwartz could have had there, but 2 RBIs for Levinson on the play. Andrejko goes all the way to third. Smith and McKenzie score. And it's now 6-4, and the Spartans have a 2-run lead. That one down and in for a ball, 1-0. So now Anderson can put an exclamation point on it here. Breaking ball taken for a strike, and it's 1-1. So the Spartans answer Emory's 2 in the top of the 8th with 3 here in the bottom of the inning. Levinson goes. The pitch swung on, fouled off by Anderson, and it's 1-2. Anderson extended his hitting streak to 18 games with a single to start the game, but since then has gone 0 for 3, so he's 1 for 4 total on the day. Runner goes, swung on, chopper to short. Throws on to first, and the throw is wild. That brings across another run. Levinson goes to third. Anderson goes to second. Andrejko scores. And it's now 7-4. So the game getting away from Emory a bit here as some poor defense in the 8th have cost them 3 runs. First pitch strike to Josiah Harris, who's looking for his first or second hit of the game. He's 1 for 4 in this one. And a base hit here could really give some breathing room for the Spartans in the bottom of the frame. Here's the 0-1. Up high, 1-1 the count. Now the 1-1 on the way. Curveball freezes Harris, and it's 1-2. Chopper, third base side, but foul. Count stays at 1-2. Ball misses inside. And it's 2-2. Down and out. And so the count goes full, 3-2 now. Walk here would load the bases with Nick Harms out on deck. 3-2 pitch. And in the dirt, ball 4. So Harris draws the walk to load them up.
Now batting right fielder number 26, Nick Harms.
Now Nick Harms to the plate. And a big swing and a miss from Harms as the count goes to 0-1. Harms 1 for 3 in the game. Called strike on the curve, and it's 0-2. Harms led the inning off with a ground out to first, but since then the Spartans have scored 4 to take a 7-4 lead over Emory. That went inside, and it's 1-2. Bases are loaded here with 2 away. Here's the 1-2 offering. And it's popped up, fouling out of play. Count stays at 1-2. Another 1-2 pitch on the way from Golub to Harms. And he swings and misses, strike 3, and that ends the inning. However, the Spartans strike for 4 runs on 4 hits and an error in the 8th. They leave the bases loaded, but they'll take a 3-run lead into the 9th. Heart of the Emory order due up, Sicoli, Sullo, and McLaughlin when we return. Welcome back once again. It's Case Western Reserve University with a 7-4 lead. Last chance for Emory as we had a wild 8th inning. 6 runs between the two teams after the two teams combined for 5 runs over the first 7. The Spartans certainly hoping for some fireworks-free baseball here in the 9th. Although the heart of the order to face John Simon, who's now in line for the win, and delivers a first pitch strike 0-1 to Matthew Sicoli. It will be Sicoli followed by Sullo and then McLaughlin due up, although a pinch hitter on deck for Sullo in the DH spot. That's taken down low, 1-1. Looks like Brock Liu has come out on deck to hit for Sullo. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Down and out, 2-1. Simon came in to get the final out of the 8th inning, striking out Ellis Schwartz. And ended up being a big out as Emory left the bases loaded. That one fouled off. 2-2 now the count on Sicoli. So 2-2. Here's the pitch. Ground ball first base side. Carinci has it. Steps on the bag. One gone. So with one out, that will bring up the pinch hitter, Brock Liu. Liu hitting at .240 on the year. He'll be making his first appearance of the series. He's 6 for 25. He does have a home run and 5 runs batted in as Liu steps to the plate and takes a first pitch strike 0-1. There is action in the Spartan bullpen, but I think Coach Englander hoping Simon can finish this one off. He's looked good so far today and delivers a strike there. And that brings the count to 0-2. So Liu behind in the count 0-2. Simon with some pitches to work with here. And a few runs to work with now after that 4-run inning. That one misses down low, 1-2. Jonathan Simon, not just a pitcher, he is was a finalist for the Rhodes Scholarship. I believe a 4.0 GPA. A data analytics major. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And so that'll be the second out of the inning, second strikeout for Simon, and the Spartans an out away from getting a win in the series finale here. Adam Hamilton was the player warming up in the bullpen, but he's sat down now with 2 outs, the base is empty, and a 3-run lead. First pitch curve from Simon, catches to McLaughlin, and it's an 0-1 count. Here's the 0-1 pitch. In the air, right field, deep, going back. His arm still going back, and he can't get to it as it bounces off the fence. McLaughlin pulls into second base with a double as the ball comes into the infield, and the game will continue. So double by McLaughlin, who again the Spartans have contained this series offensively. But now the potential game time run in the on-deck circle as Jack Halloran will be the batter. Halloran hitting at .287. He's grounded into 2 double plays, flown out to center field, and then scored the go-ahead run at the time, the 4th run of the game for Emory in the 8th inning after being hit by a pitch. First pitch from Simon. Called strike, and it's 0-1. Well, nothing has come easy this weekend for the Spartans, and you would expect, if the trend continues, nothing seems to, be coming quite that easy here in the 9th. With a runner at second, but still a way out of the inning here for Simon with a runner on and a 3-run lead. Breaking ball misses outside, and it's 1-1. Looking over the bullpen, and I wonder, with 2 outs already in the inning, as the count goes to 1-2, and now a strike away, if the Spartans would consider getting Tyler Horvath up to try to get one final out if needed. He did not fare well pitching in back-to-back games of a doubleheader the last time out. That one grounded down the third baseline, but called foul. And so the count stays at 1-2. I'm trying to see. Someone is up in the bullpen. I'm trying to see if that is Hamilton or Horvath here. And I believe that's Hamilton, so not Horvath. And again, I think the wise move there after he had a pretty heavy lifting outing in the earlier game. 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll do it. So the Spartans come from behind for the win in this one and salvage one game of the 4-game series. Final score here is 7-4, the Spartans with the win. So Emory drops to 16-10 on the season. Case Western Reserve improves to 11-11 on the year.
Today's ball game. The Spartans will return to Nobby's Ballpark on Saturday, April 8th to face Mount Union. In the meantime,
The
please travel home.
Eagles now 5-2 in the UAA. Case Western Reserve at 3-5. Winning pitcher today will be Jonathan Simon, who pitched the final inning in a third and improves to 3-0 on the year. No save. The loss goes to Mike Golub, who drops to 1-1. The game lasted about 2 hours and 50 minutes. And attendance here today for our second game was 137. Want to thank everyone once again for joining us throughout the weekend here as the Spartans and the Eagles complete their 4-game series. Final score here in the final game, 7-4. The Spartans getting the win in the final game of the series. Thanks again for tuning in, everyone. I'm John Schwartz. Have a pleasant rest of your weekend, and we will see you when the Spartans return home in next weekend. Take care, everyone.